Hi, everybody. I'm really pleased to be here. A little scared, but that's okay. You will help me get through it just by being here. Uh, what she didn't mention that I came sort of resisting because I had still had some shadow thoughts in my head that would tell me that I didn't have enough to offer, particularly when I've been in classes before and listened to the regulars that uh, come onto Gwen's um, network and onto these calls and present classes. And so I said, well, what can I serve? What can I offer that even those that are as advanced as I think they are will perhaps can use something that I have to share? And this Open Your Heart came to me when I was writing my most recent book, which was um, Finding Inner Peace. Uh, I was finishing up the last chapter and I asked myself the question, what can I offer to people that they can use now that they've established a sense of peace in their own hearts? And I said, well, share what I do. And this came, I didn't mentally think this all out. It was definitely given to me by spirit. And what of course came was Open Your Heart, because you can't have any of these things like peace unless we open our hearts. That's the very beginning. And unity, of course, is all about prayer and meditation and opening your heart. So this acronym came to me, and that's what I'm going to present to you. There are 13. They're a combination of steps and or statements. And if anybody's interested in getting a copy of them, I'd be more than happy if you leave your email address in the chat room later. The first one is only hold in mind what you want more of. There's a song that we sing in unity, and I'll just sing a little bit of it because it tells a lot. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers. Be careful what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness, and know that God is always there, and every thought becomes a prayer. And that's just to point out that whatever it is we hold in mind is what we create by holding it in mind. So you sort of have to start thinking about, what am I holding in mind? Do I want more of it or don't I? Uh, the second step is prepare each day by beginning it with some quiet prayer time. In my opinion, and in my experience, this is absolutely essential for any of us to even hope to have a continuing experience of peace, of joy, of hope, of all of those things that come out of preparing the day by spending time in the silence and reading spiritual matters. I happen to read the Daily Word every morning, even before I go on to a 7 o'clock call, where few of us gather and read the Daily Word and then spend time in the silence. Mark Nepo's book, The Awakening, is absolutely tops on my list of books. And those are the ones that I read regularly every single day. So it's important that we start the day with prayer. Elevate your thoughts to elevate the quality of your life. You want to have um, a more joyful life. You need to elevate what it is that you're doing and what you're thinking and how you're living your life. These are some questions that I ask you to just consider. Are you, what comes to mind, is it lack or is it bounty? Is it fear or is it faith? Is it uncertainty or is it confidence? Is it defensiveness or are you experiencing being open? Is it judgmental or is it loving, compassionate, and understanding? Those are the opposites. When we're below the line, when we're stuck, and sometimes we're not even aware of it. And believe me, you can, I know I do, I get there sometimes when I didn't intend to, but I got stressed out. And when stress comes, that breaks my connection with my own heart. And then no telling what's going to happen. So we have the power of choice. And I think that's important for us to all understand. Change your thoughts to change your life. It's really that simple, but it's not so easy. It takes time and it takes practice. Never doubt what your intuition is telling you. And that's simply um, underlining the fact that our intuition is coming from the inside. And when we feel that intuitive moving us, telling us to do something or to say something, uh, then we shouldn't doubt that, because it's what we need to do. And we need to listen to that intuition. That's very different than someone else telling us that we should do something, or other kinds of feelings that we might have. Intuition is aligned with our uh, being centered in our own heart space. So we're open to hearing the still small voice of God, is the way I like to put it. The next point that I like to make is, you are an exquisite and unique expression of God, and don't ever doubt it. We are all, individually and collectively, we are expressions of God, and we are each unique in that expression. And we should never doubt that. If we are doubting it, that's a good sign if we're aware of it, because it means there's some work to do. It means there's something that's going on at a subconscious level, and it's now been brought up to make us feel uncertain, to doubt. Take a look at that, because it's uh, it's an opportunity for you to discover what it is that isn't true, but has been perhaps directing your life. And then you get to change that. The next practice is, offer your very best in all that you do and know it is enough. Uh, we like to say, if I could do better, I would do better. And the same is true of each of us. Just know that you are doing your very best, and that's enough for right now. Uh, can't talk about what's going to happen tomorrow, but right now you've done what you could do, and don't beat yourself up over it. And if you are, be aware of it. And again, you can change what you think, because that's, if you're beating yourself up, it is one of those hidden shadow beliefs that aren't true, but we operate from them because we lived with them for so long in our life. Most of us didn't find the truth until we were much older. Maybe perhaps a few of you were fortunate enough to be born into a family where that isn't true. So should be grateful for that. The next action is to unbind yourself from doubts and unforgiveness, because it is those that keep you from expressing who you truly are. Just let that sort of sink in. because it is when we are doubting or we're unforgiving of either of ourselves or of someone else or a situation, that keeps us from being able to express our true nature, which is divine. This is an important one. And for anyone who's working, it's probably even more difficult. I can remember when I was working full-time job, that I had to spend just, I could only do this perhaps for a few minutes, but it's something today that we can remind ourselves of throughout the day. Relax, slow down, rest, and take in the beauty all around you. And I think those of us who are retired, even though we still have very busy lives, this is something we can all do. Just simply relax, slow down, rest. If you need to take a nap, I take 2 or 3 a day. They're not long ones, but they just allow me to close my eyes, catch 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm back to whatever it is I was doing. But it's important that we look around once we have slowed down and rested to see the beauty, because there is beauty everywhere. And then that prompts us to feel gratitude. This one I spent a little bit of mental conscious uh, work in the wording of it, because it was something that I'll share what I used to do. So it says, here with an open mind to discovery, what others have to say and offer. And until a few years ago, I would listen with one ear while my mind was busy either discounting what I just heard because I didn't like it, didn't agree with it, or looking to turn the attention on me. That's an ego mind that was operating. I didn't know it, uh, but that's what I was doing. So it's important now for me to hear with an open mind to discovery, which means I don't have all the answers. I'm open and receptive to what others have to say and offer, and I'm open to learning always. So that's an important one for me, at least. And this is another one that's just, it's a variation on what I've already, one of the previous ones. Enter each day with an awareness of God's presence in all things. And the only way that I've been able to do that is by starting my day with prayer and meditation, and then the readings. And that opens my heart up, and that allows me to see God in all things. This is one that I have only recently um, begun to learn, and my wife is responsible for me being able to do this. And that's allow time in my day, in your day, for unbridled fun and give it your all. And that comes from someone who was very structured, who, because some of my beliefs were I had to do things perfectly, and there was no time for fun because this is serious business. It's not. It's important that we allow ourselves to have unbridled fun and give it your all. That probably is behind one of the books that I wrote, which uh, was it? Um, oh, uh, Silly Me, There I Go Again, A Path to Self-Acceptance. And it really was having to do with accepting myself just as I am, warts and all, and not be ashamed, be willing to share that, because we all have some warts that we sometimes try to hide. This is one that is important to do certainly at the end of the day, but I found myself doing it because I've had the time to do it, or I've been stirred to do it. Review your day and learn what you can from it. Before I go to bed at night, I've checked out what has gone into my day that I wish had been different, that I had been different. How could I have handled the situation a little different? And these mostly because most of my interactions uh, one-on-one is with my partner, my wife. So there are plenty of opportunities for me to learn uh, what I could do differently. This is finally, it's important that we trust in God first and then in yourself. Trust in others will follow as a result. And this is constructed because in order to have an open heart, we must have faith in God. We must truly believe that there is a God presence, that we're a part of it. And that gives us the faith first that God is there supporting us internally and through the world around us. And then we have confidence because we are an expression of God. We have faith in ourselves and confidence that whatever we do, uh, it's going to be okay. And we can just be who we are. And when we are able to do that and feel that through our heart and express the best of who we are, trust in others will follow as a result of that, because everyone is an expression of God. And if I can find that in me, then I automatically see it in you. Even when it may not be showing up, but I know that it's there because you are a unique expression and I simply need to look for it. I'm so grateful for some of the people I have in my life who see it when I can't see it, and they know who I'm talking about. And that's something that I aspire to do for others, to see that in others, even when maybe they're having difficulty with seeing it in themselves. And trust in others follow as a result of this. Trust in God first, and then in yourself. And trust in others will follow as a result, because now we're being the best that we are, and we're demonstrating it, and we will see it in others, and they will see it in us also, and it gives them license to be their best self. So you can contact me at either lifepossibilitiesfulfilled@gmail.com. That's my website email address. lifepossibilitiesfulfilled@gmail.com. Or you can send it to me. Some of you still know me as Steve Camp. And you can send it to 007, and the RO is not zeros because somebody else got James Bond's um, uh, address, I guess. So it's little o, the digit 7, Steve, Steve, at embarkmail.com. That's EMBARQMAIL.com.